Are you looking to move to Cleveland, Ohio, and you know you just want to live near downtown to experience the amazing city life that Cleveland has to offer? Obviously, you don't want to be, 20 minutes out into the suburbs. You want to live right downtown, and chances are you want to find a neighborhood that's really walkable, very trendy, has a ton of bars and restaurants for obviously you to enjoy. There's always going to be something for you to do in these neighborhoods that I'm going to tell you about. And chances are you probably don't want to be near the hood, which I'm sure if you've been reading online or something like that, you've seen that Cleveland does not have the best reputation for being a super safe city, so to say. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 4 most kind of trendy and up and coming areas that if you're looking to move to the area, then chances are these spots are going to be just for you. I'm going to be talking about no particular order here. I'm going from east to west on the map here. We're going to be talking about University Circle, Ohio City, Tremont, and Detroit Shoreway. So make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end of this video because I will be discussing why these places are so amazing to live in. What's going on, everybody? Alex Colasar here with Century 21. And if you're looking to move out to the area, make sure you send me a text, phone call, email, because no matter how you want to get a hold of me, I got your back when moving to the area. I got countless people reaching out to me about moving over here to the Cleveland area, and I absolutely love it. So I can't wait to hear from you, and let's get started with the video. All right, let's start up on the east side. We're only maybe a 5-minute drive to downtown here. All you gotta take is Euclid Ave, and you're literally, like I said, right there in downtown. So this place is super desirable, especially if you wanna be really close to that downtown area. Now, University Circle is home to Case Western Reserve University, University Hospitals, which ranks like in the top 1% of hospitals nationally. You also have the VA Medical Center there too. So this area is definitely built up very commercially. And on top of that, they have so many like of Cleveland's iconic places and spots to see. So if you're in town visiting, obviously most people are gonna hit up like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and all that, but a lot of the stuff is actually gonna be located over here in the University Circle area. Now over on the side, you got Severance Halls, you got the Botanical Gardens, you got the Cleveland History Center over here, the Cleveland Museum of Art, the Cleveland Museum of National History. And on top of all of that, you also have the Lakeview Cemetery right there. I know it's a little weird to be adding the Lakeview Cemetery into like iconic places to see since it's a cemetery, but this place is absolutely gorgeous. You can probably get lost in there like all day long just walking around. They got tons of trails throughout the entire cemetery, and the statues and monuments there are really kind of out of this world. You got a few famous people buried there. You got John D. Rockefeller, and you also have President James A. Garfield buried there, and you can actually walk through and see their monuments as well. But on top of that, University Circle, again, is really, really built up right there. And so a lot of people you're gonna see kind of venture off to Little Italy, which is also right there. Now, Little Italy is definitely a place to check out, hence its name. It's little and it's very, very Italian. You're gonna have so many Italian restaurants here. It's almost like they picked up a little piece of Italy and put it right here in University Circle. So it's definitely a pretty cool spot. You're gonna have brick-lined streets here with a lot of majestic churches here. It's not a huge area, but it is very, very local and very walkable. So you're not gonna see a ton of clubs out here or anything like that, but since you got Case Western Reserve University right there and you got all the university hospitals and whatnot, you're gonna see a ton of young students and young professionals kind of walking around throughout the day. It's a very, very safe neighborhood to live. Now, if you're looking to move out here, chances are you might be looking for a rental or you might be looking for a place to buy. First and foremost, if you want to stay out of the hood, I recommend not going up north. That's going to be East Cleveland, which has probably one of the worst places in Ohio as far as like homicides and stuff like that. It is definitely not the area that I would recommend. So if you move out here, definitely don't go north. So if you're looking for a place, definitely check out Little Italy. You're gonna check out Coventry. It's like a little village right there off Cleveland Heights. And also check out Cleveland Heights as well, and all the way down to like that University Circle area. So pretty much anywhere east to like kind of that south area are places that I recommend you checking out. Over there in Little Italy, they have some amazing condos that they've just built over in the last decade or so. These are absolutely gorgeous. They're 3-story townhouses. I think some are even 2, so you don't have to walk as many floors. But the price ranges out here are definitely gonna be a little bit more expensive. I mean, you're probably looking up to like that $500,000 mark. So that wraps up University Circle and pretty much all the neighborhoods over there on the east side. There's some other great neighborhoods over there on the east side, but we're covering only the top 4, so we gotta kind of pick and choose. So let's head all the way over to the west side, not even but maybe like a 10 to 12 minute drive. We're gonna head right over the bridge and we're gonna go over there to Ohio City. Now, I know I kind of bypassed downtown a little bit, and downtown is a great place to live, and I thought I should have included it into this video. However, I think downtown kind of deserves its own separate video on kind of places where to live, whether you're looking for a condo or an apartment. There's always something going on down there, but we're gonna skip over downtown area and just go right over there to Ohio City. Ohio City, man, this is like in another little separate downtown area, but it's its own little neighborhood. So the population here is definitely gonna be a little bit bigger. You're gonna see a lot more restaurants, a lot more bars, and tons of breweries. That's kind of what they're known for. We see a lot of people kind of visiting Ohio City to obviously hit up all these amazing places that they have to offer, with most of like everything kind of really relocated on West 25th right there. And in my opinion, Ohio City has that perfect blend of like historic and modern housing, kind of like that old versus new, and with tons and tons of amenities around here. Now, one of the most iconic places in Ohio City is gonna be the West Side Market. This place has so much history, and the architecture is absolutely beautiful. Inside, they have so many different little vendors going on. You can pick and choose from different places. And I know for a fact that the West Side Market was featured on the Food Network a couple different times, so it is definitely a monument. So if you're looking to visit Cleveland, or if you just moved out to the area and you're a different city, I definitely recommend checking out the West Side Market. It's a really, really cool place to go check out. And then if you head just right across the street, you got this beautiful mural right on the wall here with this nice little courtyard. And right in there, you got the Great Lakes Brewery. Like I said, this is one of the many, many breweries that Ohio City has to offer. Again, it's almost like a little downtown away from Cleveland itself. But kind of moving on, we'll touch on Ohio City a little bit more, but we're gonna go just south into the third neighborhood on the list, and that's gonna be Tremont. Now, Tremont is a really nice neighborhood with a lot of very, very trendy spots. I will say the difference between like Ohio City and Tremont is that Ohio City is definitely gonna be a bigger city feel, where Tremont is gonna be a little bit more of like a neighborhood, so to say. They don't really have a downtown at all, seeing how like the interstate cuts really Tremont directly into 4 separate pieces here. So if you're looking to move out to Tremont, just know that it's gonna be a little bit more quieter. It's gonna be a little bit more close niche. Again, there's not that downtown area, a lot more like local pubs and bars to visit. And a lot of the amazing restaurants and bars that they have here are actually gonna be located on like the northwest, kind of sandwiched in between 90 and 490 there. It's again, Tremont's like in 4 little corners there. So if you head over to the right side, it's definitely gonna be very, very walkable, super trendy, very safe. I've heard, Tremont has definitely come up over the last few decades. If you ask any like older person that lives in Cleveland during like the 60s and 70s, they'll say that was the south side of Cleveland, and that's where, a lot of people bought all their drugs, so to say. So it definitely has come up a lot over the years. With Tremont, there definitely, in even Ohio City, there definitely is a little bit of crime, but I'd say more so what you need to worry about is definitely like carjackings, right? A lot of these houses are gonna be on very narrow lots. A lot of them don't have garages. So if we are able to find you a house with at least a 1-car or even a 2-car garage, that is a huge selling point here, since a lot of people are gonna be parking on the streets. So that's definitely one of the biggest complaints about living kind of in this inner city area, is that it is safe and it feels walkable, but there's a lot of like carjackings and stuff. And if we can find you a place with a garage and whatnot, I definitely recommend paying a little bit extra for it. Now, one thing I think that's really cool about Tremont is the second Friday of every month, they have a thing called Walkabout Tremont. And I think what this does is it brings a lot of people into Tremont that doesn't know what Tremont has to offer. Like I said, compared to Ohio City, Tremont is definitely going to be a little bit more local and a more of like a neighborhood feel. And since they don't have a downtown area, so if you live in Tremont, like I said, it's gonna be very walkable, because if you wanna hit up all these local restaurants and bars, you're gonna be walking through neighborhoods. These places are gonna be right there on the corner. They're gonna be super hidden and super good. But every second of the Friday, they have a theme, right, depending on the month. And basically what they're gonna do, they have street vendors out there. They're gonna have a bunch of stuff going on. You're gonna have a bunch of people kind of jam-packed into Tremont. And really what it does is, again, it allows people to really explore what Tremont has to offer. This place is super awesome, and I recommend Tremont to someone who's looking for that vibe of, I want it to be a little bit more quiet, but I want to be close to everything. And like I said earlier, especially with the highways butting up right there into the four corners, literally hopping on the highway is a breeze. Compared to Ohio City, you're gonna obviously have to head south just to hop onto the highway here, where Tremont, I mean, literally you just leave your house and you can hop on a highway, so it is super, super convenient if you're looking to get somewhere really quick. Oh, and lastly, I can't mention Tremont without mentioning A Christmas Story movie.
Ah, fragile. It must be Italian.
Well, I think that says fragile, honey.
Oh, yeah.
It was filmed right here in Cleveland, Ohio, and actually the house right there still has the leg up in the window with the lamp on it, but the house is still there. It has a museum and everything, as you can see kind of from this little video when we were driving by, that people are still touring this thing to this day. We even had Ralphie out there in a pink bunny suit, an inflatable. So like I said, Tremont, a lot of houses stacked on top of each other. Everything is super, super close and very, very walkable. All right, now last up on the list is gonna be Detroit Shoreway. Detroit Shoreway kind of butts up right there to Ohio City. And one of the most iconic places here in Detroit Shoreway is gonna be the Gordon Arts District, which really is kind of right on the border there of, again, Detroit Shoreway and Ohio City. This place has, it's very eclectic. There's tons of restaurants. It's a very, very heavy art scene. So if you're into that kind of scene, so to say, I definitely recommend checking out the Gordon District, or really anywhere kind of in that surrounding areas. Just know that with a lot of these places that rentals and looking for a house is definitely gonna be a little expensive. We've seen a lot of condos come up over the years, and they're anywhere from like $300,000 all the way up into like that $500,000 range. But if you're looking for like a one bed, kind of one bath apartment, expect to pay around $1,100 a month. And if you want something like super, super like luxury and fancy, expect to pay around $1,400 a month. So because of the up and coming areas and how trendy it's becoming, definitely expect to pay a little bit more in living expenses. I know you hear that Cleveland is super, super cheap when it comes to cost of living. And while that is still true compared to a lot of places, just know that, again, rental and, buying a house here in a condo is gonna be a little bit more expensive. But in my opinion, you're experiencing like what Cleveland has to offer. Now, one of Detroit Shoreway's biggest draws to it is actually their culinary attractions here. There are countless coffee shops, bars, and restaurants over there. Now, one of the cool things about Detroit Shoreway is it also is right there on the lake. So Lake Erie is gonna be you just head down a couple streets and you are right there at the beach. Now, the most popular beach probably like in the Cleveland area is gonna be the Edgewater Park right there. Edgewater Park, man, this place is absolutely amazing. You got public parks there. There's always somebody outside doing something, whether it's a festival, Edgewater Live on Thursdays. You're always gonna have boats out there on the lake. One year I was out there for 4th of July and they had the Blue Angels, the aircrafts flying over, they had fireworks. I mean, it was like a party down there. It is super, super awesome. So if you're looking to move anywhere in Cleveland, you definitely gotta check out Edgewater Park. Just make sure you watch out because Lake Erie does have like lake contaminants and stuff and bacteria, and they're always testing for it daily. So sometimes that water is closed. So just kind of keep that in mind. But right there overlooking Edgewater Park is gonna be Battery Park. And you'll see it, there's this huge tower that obviously says Battery Park right there. And this facility used to make and test batteries, but I believe it closed down back in 1999. And since then, it's been completely redeveloped with these amazing condos over here. These condos are going anywhere from around $300,000 all the way up into like that $500,000 range. And they're gonna be townhomes, so they're gonna be stacked up a little bit taller here. But in my opinion, they've kind of created their own little like neighborhood, so to say, right here in Detroit Shoreway and kind of the Edgewater area. And kind of people are kind of dubbing it as the West Side's Little Italy. Like I said, Little Italy has some amazing condos and developments going up over there, and they got them going up over here in Battery Park as well. And the one thing that's really nice about West Side too is, again, we went from Ohio City to Tremont to Detroit Shoreway, kind of up to Edgewater there. If you keep heading west, you're gonna have Lakewood, which is another very, very trendy spot. Very, very walkable. And that's why I say the West Side compared to the East Side is just gonna be a lot more trendier, a lot more young professionals looking to move there. Someone who wants to live that city life and have all these amazing restaurants and bars, you're probably gonna find most of it over there on the West Side. Now, keep in mind with these a lot of these areas is they are very nice and built up, but as a result, kind of just south, kind of towards like that Clark Fulton area and kind of below like Detroit and Madison there, you're gonna see a little bit of like some sketchy areas. So just kind of keep that in mind, that you're really not that far off from like what some people will consider like dangerous or even a sketchy area. But these areas, again, over the years have really become built up, and it's just something that you're gonna kind of have to live with, because like any big city, not just here in Cleveland, you're gonna have a homeless population, you're gonna have some sketchy people walking around. I mean, it is what it is, but as long as you stay on the main roads and you be smart about everything, I promise you these areas are very safe, very trendy, and very walkable. But I only covered the 4 areas here. Again, I was gonna cover the downtown, kind of the warehouse district area, but I'll save that for a separate video. So if you are looking to move out here to the Cleveland area and you wanna stay like a 5 to 10 minute drive to the downtown area, then definitely check out these 4 places. But again, they are a little bit more expensive. But I appreciate you guys for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, make sure you shoot me a text, phone call, email. So no matter how you want to get a hold of me, I got your back when moving to the area. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.